We're going to make a Next.js application with MongoDB. So we are going to make a login page with where you can register a user and then log in to reach the home page. We're not using any frameworks like Next.js, Auth, and Auth0. We're going to keep it simple only with MongoDB. So let's get started. For that, initially we need a MongoDB database. So if you already have a MongoDB Atlas account, you can log in into it and create a project. Or if you don't have one, you can just sign up. It's free. So yeah, let's get started. You need to create a project. So let's name it login demo. Okay. So it's going to be you. You can just create the project. And now we need to build a database. These serverless and dedicated are paid, so obviously we'll use this. Create. You can use anything. You can use Google Cloud, Azure, AWS. You can just leave them as it is. It's alright, doesn't matter. Create a cluster. Now you need to create a username and a password. So let's create something like maybe admin and login demo. Okay, I'm gonna create a user. And where would you like to connect from? Okay, so you can just click on add my current IP address, unless and until you have a VPN connection or something, and then you want to change it to something else. You need to look at that, or else usually this works. Yeah, finish and close. Go to database, and I'm here. Okay, it takes a little bit time, so in the meantime we'll just create the Next.js project. So for that you can use any IDE. Atom's my favorite, but for mostly JavaScript applications, React and everything, Visual Studio is like much preferred. So let's do it in Visual Studio. Let's go to desktop. Okay, and then npx create next app. So here we're going to use an example file of MongoDB. So we're going to go with MongoDB. Okay, and the project name demo. Let's go ahead with demo. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so now okay, let's cd into it. Demo. Okay, we have all of these files created. We also have a okay, let's get opening from this. Okay, so as we can see here, we have the pages file. We have a public file where you can put all the images and everything. We have a .env.local file, which is what we'll be using to connect to the Mongo database. This is an example code to connect to a Mongo database. We're gonna change it a little bit, as we'll see. So the first thing when you start the application, you need to do is change the name of this file to just env.local. Okay, I think the database is created. We'll just try to connect to it. Okay, so click on connect your application. Just copy this, go here, paste it, and in the place of password, go with login demo, which we have just created. Okay, everything remains the same, and yeah, I think we can start and take a look at it. Take a look at the web page. npm run dev. Okay, just copy this, paste it. There you go. Server is up and running, the page is here, so the application is working, and it's also connected with Mongo database. So now let's go to the index page. We pretty much need to change everything what's in here, so let's do one thing. We'll just remove everything. Alright, yeah, just remove everything and write it from start. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we'll create the basic page, like a basic index page. So what we'll do is export default function home, maybe. Okay, and it goes like okay, now return, and open a div tag. I'm not going to do any CSS in this, because I just wanted to show how you can connect to a database and create a simple login structure if you're creating an application or a simple project that you're trying to work on. I've tried to search a lot on YouTube for a video like this, but I couldn't. There are a multiple mix of videos that I had to watch and get a clear idea of what's happening after like 2 or 3 days of debugging. So yeah, let's go ahead and create a registration form. Okay, and then we're going to create a form, and in this form we're going to have a label which says email address and an input of type email, and you can put a placeholder, it's fine even if there isn't one. We'll put type your email, and again a label that says password, and an input of type password. Placeholder is type your password. Okay, so that's it, and then we're gonna have the submit button. Okay, type is submit. Okay, okay, we'll just change the value of it to register. Oh, there you see, it's here. Okay, and I'll just copy all of this, the same form. We'll place another tag which is login, and we're going to paste it right away. Pretty much this is the only thing that will change here. Everything remains the same, and there's a important thing right here. We'll also put a name to all of this. Email has a name email, password has a name password. Okay, so what happens if you don't put a name is when you're trying to send the form using the post method, it won't get the data because there isn't any like a certain tag for what data you're sending. So now let's create a connection to the Mongo database, and for that we're gonna have to use Mongoose. Okay, so let's stop it. npm I mongoose. Okay, import mongoose, create a variable connection. Okay, this variable is usually used to like check if there is already a connection or not. For that I'll just show you how like whenever we are connected to the database, this variable ready state is set to 1 when it's connected, or 2 when it's connecting, and 3 while it's disconnecting. So essentially it's what we care about is 0 and 1 here. When it's connected we don't do anything, but when it's disconnected we like create a new connection. So for that we're going to use an async function which is called connect maybe. Okay, and if connection dot is connected, okay, if this is there, if it's already there is a connection, then just return, don't do anything. But if there is not any connection, what we have to do is create a new variable const db where await mongoose dot connect with what? Connect with this right here, the MongoDB URI. To access this variable we have to use this process dot env dot MongoDB URI. And now connection dot is connected is equal to db dot connections dot connections of 0 ready state. Okay, so this gives 0 or 1 to this variable, which we can use to check here. Okay, so yeah, I think we can export this function using export default connect. Okay, cool. And now we have to create a schema for the the data that's been sent to the database. It should be stored somewhere in a proper schema. So for that we need the Mongoose anyways, and to create the schema we'll just keep it organized and create a new folder which is model, and in model we create a new file which is schema, and in schema we import Mongoose, and we're going to create a new constant which is user schema which is equal to a new mongoose dot schema, which has two variables, email as we know, which has a type of string, and required is true, we need an email, and we also add unique. When we add this we can make sure the same user does not register again and again. Okay, so register is true, and we create password for which the type is string, password is required, so required is true. And so now the next thing we're going to do here is to make sure the schema, if it's already available we can use the same schema, and if it's not we're going to create a new one. So for that we're going to use this code which is module.exports is equal to mongoose dot models. Mongoose has two things, which is the first thing is a model in which you're going to create a new model, and in models you can check if the model is already existing and use that directly right away. So mongoose dot model of maybe a user dot with the user schema. So this means we are going to first check if there is already a schema, and if there is one, we'll return it, or else we will create a new schema using this schema, so which only has an email and a password. That's it. And I'm gonna save this. Okay, so after this, when in this index form, what should happen when we register? It has to go to the database. So we are going to create an API call for this. So let's give it an action. Let's give the form an action, which is go to API dot register, and method is obviously post. So we are going to now create this directory or this page, which will tell which will do the backend work for us. So for that, we're going to go to pages, create a new folder which is API, and in API we're going to create a new file which is register .js, and in register.js the first thing we'll do is import connect this function and import user from the models and schema, the one we just created. And the first thing we'll do is connect to the database, and we're gonna export default async function handler handles a request and a response. And in this we're gonna have a try catch block, and in this try catch block we have a constant user, which is await user dot use the schema and create a new user with request dot body. Request dot body has email and password, and response is redirect to because we're just registering it, we'll just go to the same index page. So this is how you go to index page. Now if user is not created for whatever reason, we are going to return a response JSON which says code user not created, just in case. And if there is an error in between, res dot status 400 dot JSON, or you can give a res.json, it's up to you. Not able to create a new user. Okay, this is pretty much it. With this we can register and check if the user is created or not. So let's just try it out. I'm gonna run the server. Okay, the server is up and running, and now we can make use of the MongoDB Atlas or the MongoDB Compass, which is a direct application to look at the databases, but it's up to you. You can just check it out here and browse collections. So yeah, let's just register johndoe@gmail.com. Password is something like 12345 and register. Okay, so we were brought back to this page, which makes me think, I think maybe we have created it. There you go. Okay, we have an email. This is where we made a mistake, so we need to add apostrophes in the code. And let's create another user, jto1@gmail.com. Password is the same. Register. Let's check if it's created or not. There you go. Two of them, Jado and Jado1. Let's try to create a user with the same email ID and see if it's working. No, just in case. See, there you go. We have a status not able to create a user because there is an error, which the database gives it back because email is a unique ID. Okay, so let's get back. So now that we are able to create a user, we'll try to log in with the user. And when you log in with the user, you have to reach somewhere, right? Reach to a home page. So let's first create the home page using in pages home.js. Okay, and in home.js we'll pretty much put it simple and straightforward. We'll go with default function which returns h1 of page. Short and sweet. So okay, now in this second form, the login form, we just type in action. So what should the page do when you click on submit is you go to API / login, which is route, and method is post. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And let's see if we can log in with the same details. We'll try with the first one. Oh wait, we haven't created the API. Let's create an login API. Just login.js, and in this page it's pretty much the same, I should say, as in register. Copy the content, paste it here. The first, at least till here, it's same. And inside the function that we're going to return, the first thing that we're going to do is make two constants, email and password, which we get from request.body. And now we make a constant user. Okay, and we use this database to find a document. Since it's MongoDB, it's called a document, and find one with email and password. Okay, and if it succeeds to find the user, if it does not succeed to find, so we're going to return rest.json with status not able to find the user. Okay, else if it is able to find the user, we are going to redirect it to the home page. Direct to home. Okay, let's see if that works. Just refresh it. Okay, jdo1 or jdo@gmail.com, password 12345. There you go. That's pretty much it. If you want the code, I'm gonna put it in the description below, a GitHub link to this. And yeah, if you have any doubts, just don't forget to comment. Thank you.